Hi, my name is Nicholas Kaspareck, and I'm the co-founder of Casa Congo. As a nonprofit organization, we were very happy to be part of the Architecture and Development Challenge and honored to have made the finals and to have won a prize. Very grateful for the monetary contribution that we received from Eracontour, which is a Dutch developer that works on social housing projects in Europe, and they decided to support our project in Nicaragua. The KuNa project is a project that's been going on for almost 4 years now. It started in 2020, and it's been focused on building a bamboo supply chain to enable the local community in El Astillero to build their own homes through a resilient and high-performing material, which is bamboo. Being part of the global challenge has really been an important achievement for us. First of all, because it gave us a new level of visibility that we didn't have before, just in terms of people clicking into our project, knowing about it, inquiring through then our different platforms. So we've had several volunteers apply to come join Casa Congo and help us build bamboo homes. We've had people simply get interested in the project, offer their support remotely. And as I mentioned, we've also received some financial donations, which have helped a lot with the project. I think another important part of being part of the challenge has been being able to see other people's projects, knowing that we're not alone, trying to make the world a better place, but there's other people using social architecture as a methodology to drive change in communities who can't afford architects. I always like to think as architecture as an important agency for change, and seeing other fellow architects or entrepreneurs or artists put their skills to support disadvantaged and disenfranchised communities. It's been great, and it's been great to be able to learn from other people's projects, the challenges they have, and their wins, especially because of the broad geographic spread of the different projects, and the fact that they're focused on different things, but we're all trying to achieve the same goal one way or another. So overall for us, also the Global Architecture and Development Challenge has been great because it kind of forced us to tell our story in a way that was succinct and understandable by the general public. Often when you're running an NGO and building homes for people, the last thing you're thinking about is how to communicate what you're doing. You're just trying to raise money, build homes, work with farmers to procure bamboo, treat it. Where you're in the very technical details of what's happening on the ground and the logistics. And so, for me in particular, being part of this AD initiative has forced me to change a bit of my mindset and think about articulating what we do is so special, why what we do is so special, and how to convey that. I found it helpful to meet some of the speakers that were introduced through the network, whether it was the Hilti Foundation or the Rambo Foundation, Techo, and sort of larger scale, more institutional organizations that are doing what we do, but at a broader scale, understanding how to apply for funding and how to partner more strategically with these kind of organizations. So I think overall, if I can sum it up in 3 points, this experience for us has been good because it's given us visibility, it's given us learnings, and it's given us money. So, putting it pretty succinctly, that's what we need.
Yeah.
Would have been nice to get a bit more money, but that's what everyone says all the time. So we joined the challenge when we were just building the last of the 2021 homes, actually. So we're just wrapping it up, and it was a very challenging effort because we built those homes after hurricanes Eta and Iota hit the Pacific coast of Nicaragua. So we were in a initial disaster recovery mode. We had to do a lot of hard work with the community. We had to get bamboo approved in the local building code. We had to work with farmers, do a lot of training, and we were really just focused on building the homes. We identified 20 families, 15 of which are single mothers living in conditions of extreme poverty. So we were very, very focused on just building the homes. And we did that through a prefabrication system, and we set up a workshop to do that, which is very rustic. And, after 3 seasons of rain, the workshop has collapsed. So it's now difficult for us to give the program continuity. Although there have been a lot of parties who have demonstrated interest in continuing to support the funding of our project through more homes. So what we're focusing now on is building a state-of-the-art prefabrication workshop in El Astillero, because we've seen that a lot of people in the community are interested in learning carpentry skills. Men, women, kids, everyone wants to learn how to build with bamboo, use the tools, or in general, just upskill themselves in being able to transform timber that they find on the beach or scrap wood and converting it into furniture. So our next big step is actually building the workshop and setting it up as a community-run operation, so they can keep building homes autonomously or building other products to generate income for themselves. We're working on with architecture and development is the creation of a playbook, or let's say a bamboo construction manual, because all the knowledge that we shared and developed is spread across multiple documents, multiple people. So we found a need to create a book that can consolidate all this knowledge in English and in Spanish, and that will make it easier to transfer to neighboring communities. Although having that said, our community still has around 500 families who are homeless or have inadequate housing. So we want to close that deficit more within El Astillero before we move on to neighboring villages. But we definitely want to open up our workshop to anyone in Nicaragua or Latin America who wants to come and learn how to build with bamboo, and make that into our knowledge center, to create products together with communities. We have a framework set out for the book and a table of contents. It's just now a pretty heavy lift to develop it, but we'll be reaching out to other teams that were in the challenge, such as the I can't pronounce the name properly, and as I believe it's in Indonesia. Yeah, that's a super cool project, very fascinating bamboo initiative, and there was another one too. So we definitely want to involve more bamboo experts in this venture. I mean, in terms of types of bamboo, there's over 1,500 species of bamboo in the world. But in terms of then how you build with it, once you manage to find the species that are strong enough for construction purposes, the methodologies and the techniques are quite similar. So even though the bamboo in Indonesia is different to the bamboo in Nicaragua, we work with guadua bamboo. I'm not sure if they work with mozo or with another species, but the way you fundamentally grow it, harvest it, treat it, and transform it into solutions is pretty universal, whether you're in South America or Southeast Asia. I think what I'm the most passionate about is finding ways to scale what we're doing through relationships, through connections, in a very organic and decentralized manner. So I think there's a lot of incredible people out there, all on a similar mission, and the more we're connected and the more people we can connect with, the greater the impact. We're actually opening another hub in Mexico, in Palenque. near the Mayan pyramids, and it's going to be a school of bioconstruction and permaculture, where we're going to be working with the local communities of Babilonia 1 and Babilonia 1 and Babilonia 2 that are indigenous Mayan communities. We're going to be helping rebuild local villages, but at the same time teaching architecture students from all over the world how to design and build with bamboo. So that's a new project that's happening in Mexico, and also we have ongoing initiatives in Nicaragua with bamboo. So it's definitely going to be a focal point of my practice as an architect and of the work we do as an NGO. Currently, don't do a very good job at balancing the two things, and building more commercial projects during the day and building social projects at night is what I've ended up doing for the last 7 years, and it's caused me to potentially burn out or make sacrifices in other fields. So it's very difficult to balance. But when you want to do something for the world, but your dad's not Bill Gates, it's difficult to have a foundation that's helping people. So I'm in a phase where I'm building up my practice work, using the benefits, the profits from that to give myself time to work on my foundation, and also contribute to the projects that we work on. So not just raising funds from donors, I also personally contribute to the projects of the foundation through my commercial work. But it's very difficult to balance. I must say that there's light at the end of the tunnel, though, because it's been almost 8 years now that we've started, and we've gotten to a point where the local community operates almost completely autonomously from design, material procurement, construction, quality assurance, even financial administration. We get reports in Excel. We manage to have calls with the team quite frequently. So we made a very big investment in the local team and the local community to get them to a point where they effectively don't need us anymore. And that's taken a lot of the day-to-day work around detail activities away from my schedule, which leaves me more time to focus on my commercial practice and on fundraising for the NGO. And the things are kind of intertwined, because the people I'll raise funds from may also be clients from my commercial practice, or relationships that I develop through there. So it's definitely getting better, and it's more balanced now. But at the beginning, I must say, it wasn't balanced. It was very difficult. And you have this juggling act between doing what you love and doing what pays your bills. The reality is that today it's still happening at a very small scale. And because it's not at that point of development yet, I almost want to say as an industry standard. Like, if you're an architect, you should be dedicating part of your time and talent to helping underserved communities. It should almost be a rule in the book of architecture, and something that is taught at school. And the reality is that a lot of these things, if you do it together and bring a lot of people together, it's not such a heavy lift. The reason we were able to do what we did with Casa Con was because it was myself, Sol Rodriguez, who's an engineer, Federico Spagnoli, who's an interior designer, Lucas Worsdell, who's a permaculture expert. He's doing a PhD in agroecology now, so incredible expertise when it comes to land restoration. Luca Marsaglia, who's a marine biologist, Tommaso Bellelli, who's a finance and social entrepreneur. So, when you say, "Oh, I have to do all of this on my own," it seems big, but when you get together with the team and everyone does a little bit, you can actually make a big change. And you take a school of architecture like the Politecnico di Milano, there's probably 15,000 architects there every year studying, with a lot of free time, and then they all go into their practices, and they'll still inevitably have some free time. So I think the the best way to do it is to start young, because then when you get, a little older and you have mortgages, kids, and other kind of commitments, it becomes harder. But at that point is when you want to have built the base already, so you're not getting dragged into that detail. So I actually think it's very feasible, and I'd recommend all architects of the world aged 18 to 30 to put in the hard work, find some friends and team members who you want to make a change with, and just go do it. And then, the benefits are that when you get to sort of the middle part of your architectural career in your 30s and 40s, you'll have that kind of experience with you already, which is invaluable. Because once you learn how to build a bamboo home for $8,000 in the middle of nowhere with no electricity, your skills around value engineering, design management, even in the commercial practice, become much more refined. I believe that working in these contexts gives architects a different level of social awareness around, driving social impact through design, using bio-based materials, looking at circular systems. At least I've definitely learned everything in the world of sustainability as it pertains to real estate from my work in my NGO. So now often people consider me an expert in sustainability when it comes to sort of corporate real estate, but actually I've learned everything building bamboo homes in the jungle. So that's kind of the situation. It's more balanced now.